Hey, my name is Brooks Librand, and I'm joined here with Andre Landgraf. Wait, hold on. I don't know how to say your last name. Is it Landgraf?
So the first time you had to say it out loud?
It is. It was. I didn't even think about it. Is it
You said it.
Landgraf? That's right, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
I mean, the
cool, cool,
German
cool,
version
cool.
is Landgraf, but yeah, no expectation.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wait, hold on. Landgraf?
Yes.
I don't think I can
No,
say
that
that.
was,
That's
that was
cool.
great.
Sweet. All right. Well, good. I am German, but like 300 years removed from Germany. So, so very bad at my German. Anyway, I think we'll keep all this in because this is great. So I've known Andre for about 2 years now. We met at RemixConf 2022. Is that right? Yes. Because we
That's
only
fun.
had two of them. Yeah. And Andre also is the author of Full Stack Web Development with Remix. So a new latest and greatest book, actually the only book I think written on Remix at this point, which is awesome. So
So
this is
far.
the definitive guide at the moment. So yeah, I just wanted to ask a little bit about you, Andre. How'd you get into Remix? Why'd you want to write a book about it? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, good to be here. I'm a web developer from Germany, and I currently work at LinkedIn. I live in Cupertino, California, and yeah, I love talking about Remix. And I think I always forget the timeline, but like I purchased a Remix license at Christmas. I'm not sure, was that
Okay. Yeah.
21 probably?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think so.
probably.
That's wild.
Yeah, and it was just I saw some videos from Ryan Florence on YouTube on the Remix YouTube channel when it first came out, and I was like, "That's awesome! So much new stuff I can learn." Right, like I'm a React developer. I've done a lot of stuff with React. And like I'm using React for everything, and oh, maybe there's something more to the web platform, right? And then these videos came out, and they were like just perfect opportunity for me. So I just jumped right into it and joined the Remix Discord, and the community is just has been like really great. Like people like Sergio, like constantly sharing their knowledge. So I've just sticked around, and you know, Remix is open source now. Remix joined Shopify, so like it has been like this great journey and like meeting all the cool people at RemixConf 22, meeting you, right, and everybody else, and then last year RemixConf, I spoke for 5 minutes, so that was awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just has been an amazing journey. And so far, I've like learned something every day when I touch Remix. So why stop?
That's super cool. Oh man, yeah, the learning is like the big thing for me. Yeah, it's just so cool. I don't know. It's like it's always that balance of like, oh, should the framework hide this kind of like some of the implementation details? And Remix does. Like Remix hides a lot from you, especially when it comes to like
Yeah.
for like invalidation and stuff, like or not invalidation, but like aborting, a like a request or whatever. But yeah, I totally have that same experience of like whenever I use Remix, yeah, I have to learn stuff, and it's stuff that I should have been doing in those other things. It's just like
Yes.
Remix, and I think
Yes.
just makes it more clear. It's like, no, you need to handle this stuff. You need to handle errors and all
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. So that's awesome. Why'd you write a book though? I wanna understand a little bit. What would possess you to spend all these countless hours pouring
Yeah.
into a book?
I still don't have a great answer. Do you know this like meme where it's like the noob is doing something and the genius is doing something, and the middle is like this very complicated like
Yes.
solution, and it's like the genius and the noob are doing the same thing, or it
Yeah.
looks like they do the same thing. And
Yeah.
my answer would probably be like, it sounded fun and I had time, and my fiance didn't stop me. So
I guess that's
the
true. I
noob
guess that's very
answer or
true.
the genius answer, I don't know. But
Yeah, it's the same thing either way. It just sounded fun. Cool. All right.
yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, it's a super good book. I have actually read it. I can say that. I helped you technically edit it.
Nice.
Technically, I was editing it. Yeah, sorry. And so it was super fun to see you kind of explore this whole app that you kind of build throughout the whole book. And you kind of walk the user through or the reader through in like a really really helpful way that is both you're building the app in ways that you probably would build an app, adding the features that you'd probably want to add, but you're also teaching like really fundamental concepts and Remix the whole way through from like routing to like cookie session management, to even like talking about deployment more towards the end of like all the different trade-offs of all that. So I really love the book. Definitely like if you're new to Remix, and even if you're have a little bit of experience, I think it just gives a really comprehensive view and just expands into things in a way like a doc site is maybe won't necessarily, because it's not going to go into all those like really handhold step-by-step kind of details. So I bring that up because my understanding is you want to use the app that you created to build something today, but that's about the most that I know. So I'll
Yeah.
let you take it from there.
I kept it
What are we gonna be
vague.
doing?
Yeah, I kept it vague on purpose, just so we can explore it together. And I've
Sweet.
also not practiced a ton what we're gonna do
Okay,
today.
cool.
I just think that toast notifications like perfectly shows that like the React way of doing something, like a client-side only application, how you would like add a toast message there is very different from how you would do it and approach it in Remix. And I think Ryan tweeted like yesterday, which is like, to learn Remix, you have to unlearn first. I was like, I'm gonna use that line today. So that's exactly what I think would be cool to do today. It's like, hey, let's use an app that already exists, right? Where you have a bunch of actions, which is like the repository of the book. Add toast messages to all the different actions that already exist, and see how you can do it in a Remix way.
Sweet.
And obviously,
That
you
sounds-
can even try to make it work without JavaScript, because that's just so much fun.
Ooh, that is fun. It's just a party trick at this point, right? Like it doesn't
It
actually
is.
affect real users. No, I'm just kidding.
All the talks at RemixConf is like, and this piano works without
Yeah,
JavaScript.
No, progressive enhancement is still very useful. But yeah, it's maybe it is funny how much it gets talked about in remix circles. Sometimes to where it's like remix is almost associated with it in a way that's like, no, you could also do really good like just JavaScript stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. All right, let me get my screen up, and so we can start talking about some stuff. Cool. So you sent me over this link.
Yes.
You want me to just start up a new project from it, right?
Please. So this is the last version of the book's code.
Okay.
It should work as a template.
Perfect. Okay. So create remix at latest, and then I think it's just -- template, and you can just paste that in there. So if people don't know, this is all that the templates are doing. They just they take a GitHub or a URL basically, and then as long as it's a remix app, it just runs. So I love that. I love that you made all the code for the book that way to where you can just like keep incrementally seeing the full project at its different stages. Super helpful.
Cool.
All right. Downloading the node modules. Do you use PNPM much? Side question.
I've never used anything else than NPM.
NPM? Yeah. I have used PNPM a little bit, and oh no, your template's remix, and it's
this I think a bug at Remix, Great Remix. I'm not sure. It's just we have this like tiny init script that just console logs like welcome, and that's not running right now. So who cares?
Gotcha. What is it? Remix.init. Yeah, this guy. Oh, okay, gotcha. Weird. Yeah. Anyway, PNPM, like it does all this like it like uses the same modules or like we'll cache them or whatever. Like I don't know. I've been wanting to use it just to like make this stuff faster because I have to spin up a lot of like small little repos and stuff, and like it's kind of it's a little bit annoying to wait like 20 seconds, but also then you're like, oh, that's only 20 seconds, so maybe I should just be patient. All right, cool. So
I'm bad at stepping up my config game or like my infra game. Like I'm just
that's fair.
Doing the old things I'm used to.
No, that's totally fair. All right, so I got the README up. It looks like you got a few things I need to run. So we already ran that one. I'll go ahead and run this.
And before you run the next one, you may wanna add a .env file.
Okay.
It should be described.
Is that why this one failed?
Let's see. Let's add the .env file. Are we in the right folder already? In the Remix app?
I think so. I think we are, right?
Okay, perfect. If you scroll down a little bit for chapter 8 in the README, then you can see.
Here. Okay, yeah, that's right.
This is what you want to add.
Let's see if this does it.
Nice. And now if you run build, it should just work.
I feel like I might have goosed something up. Let me close VS Code again and just make sure I'm in the right place.
Yeah.
Because I might have messed something up here.
Yeah, it was an odd error message. I've not seen that.
Yeah, I think I definitely goofed something. Also just reinstall. Okay, npm run build. Okay, I think I had something stale because I had like another project like up and was trying to delete and stuff. So I think VS Code was like in a stale state.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So
update DB, right?
Create the database basically. It's a SQLite database, so it should be super fast.
Okay.
And then we can even seed it with npm run seed.
Oh, okay, cool, cool.
And then in the README, you should find some test credentials. So we already can work with some test data. A little up. If you look for John Doe.
Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So we'll need that. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
So just
run.
def, exactly.
Sweet.
And then you can log in with John. Nice. And that should be the app.
Sweet. All right. Let's try and log in then. Oh, okay. I think I was still logged in from when I was goofing around with this another time. Okay, cool. So let's make sure this is still working. All right, perfect. Cool.
There we go. Cool. Okay, so this is the greatest, most advanced expense and income management platform there is.
It's pretty solid.
No doubt.
Have you gotten a lot of new users with Mint shutting down, the previous budgeting app? I feel like, well, I guess this isn't budgeting. It's just expenses and income.
Yeah, no, I get countless requests a day. It's like, no. Okay, so let's stay on the expenses tab. I think that should be enough actions already. So we have a list of created expenses on the left. And if you click on one, then on the right side, you see the details view, right? Where you can just like change and update it. And in the bottom right corner, you see a little add expense button.
Do it. Sorry. Where am I looking?
Okay. In the bottom right corner, you see add expense.
Oh, button. This. Yeah.
So this is the create a new expense. And I think that's all the actions we're going to need today. So like delete, create, update. And, let's see if you can add a little toast message in the bottom left corner for these.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yeah.
I would say let's jump in the code.
Okay. Do you want like setup wise, do you want code kind of on the right? Also, let me like bump this up. Or do you want to like switch between? What do you think?
I think we can just switch between.
Cool. All right. Sounds good.
Code in full screen. One thing you may want to do is, so this is, you gotta use ESLint for formatting, and in the README you can set up the VS Code settings if you want, just so like it auto formats on save. That could be neat, but it's up to you. Okay. If you have already a workflow that works, then that's all good.
Cool. I think hopefully it'll be all right. We'll see.
Okay.
If it's too painful.
We can add it later. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So maybe it's fun to go to the root.tsx file.
All right.
Sweet. So all the good stuff that you would expect, an error boundary on the bottom somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah, and it shares like a wrapper document with the actual app.
Yep.
And then you have the actual app. So have you ever used toast messages in like a client-side React app, like an SPI?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I've like had to write some of those or use some from like different component libraries and whatnot.
Yeah. So the way they structured sometimes it's like you would wrap your whole app with like this toast provider. If you want to, we can like go through it real quick and just like add the code here.
Sure, let's do it.
Maybe in the actual route component, a little bit on top, you can wrap the children here. Okay, sorry, that's the document. You're right. So this one is
down here. Okay.
Yeah. So this one is exported as the app if there's no arrow. So I think we add the toast there.
Okay. So like, does it need to be a round document?
So yeah, inside document, outside document. I don't think it matters too much. Actually, put it inside. Put it inside. Because,
okay.
Yeah, it's going to be the document is the HTML like head, body, and stuff. So you want.
Oh yeah, we wouldn't want it. Yeah, that would be weird to do. Like yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Exactly.
Okay. So we got our toast that doesn't exist.
It's like it's do the React way first. So you would probably call it like toast provider or something. Like toast context.
Oh, true. Yeah. Oh wait, sorry about that. All right. Toast. Yeah, we'll just do provider. That makes sense. Do you want me to make it in here? Or do you want me to like open up a new file or what?
No, just let's do it in line. And yeah, it's like what is it? Toast context dot provider is what you would wrap the children with.
Yeah, so we'll do like toast context equals create context.
Yes. Look at you.
I have done this too. I remember when like hooks came out. Yeah. And I was like, I very much was one of those people. I was still like relatively kind of early in my development career, and I was very much one of those people who was like, oh, I don't need Redux anymore. Because like I thought that Redux was just like, I thought the only power of Redux was the fact that like it allowed me to avoid prop drilling. So I got like way way too into
Yeah,
yeah, context and everything.
same.
Is it this dot, yeah, like
Provider.
provider?
Yeah, perfect. And
Cool.
then I
I
think
guess it's probably
value is the prop that you would pass in,
yes.
or
Actually, I
context.
don't know if that's right. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting distracted. All right, toast da 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 da, and then value
Yeah,
equals
equals.
something.
Like,
We'll
yeah.
get there.
And then in the provider component, we can add some. Oh yeah, perfect. We need those.
Okay. Uh oh. There we go. All right, what do you want me to add?
Let's add like some state, like just like toast is an object state with a type and a message.
Okay. So
And
type.
we can set it to null initially.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But that's like the kind of the
like yeah,
form.
those
Okay,
words.
cool.
Yeah.
Let me add in here then, just so we know. So it's
Okay.
like either this or null. You said. So you said status, right?
Types, yeah, message.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, type. Yeah.
Let's say it can be like success or error. Or
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense.
Perfect. Yeah, I think choose enough.
So, and then I need to pass this in as null, I guess. All right, so this is like what, just like toast state? Is that fine?
Yeah, set toasted.
Okay, cool.
And then we can just pass both into the value exactly.
Oh
Okay.
yeah. How do you want me to do it? Like an array, or what do you think?
Whatever makes you happy, both works.
None
Cool.
of it makes me happy. I want to delete all this already. So
That's the remix answer right there.
yeah, exactly.
Cool. So it's complaining that the type of the context. When you create the context.
Yeah, I guess I should actually put this up here, shouldn't I? Okay, so I guess I'll just do like type like toast
Context.
yeah, that's a good idea. Toast context is like this thing. And so then in here, I can do that. I think this is how you can.
The toast context, you probably want it to be an object where there is the set state and the toast state.
Ugh, you're so right. It seems like too much work. All right.
Yeah.
ugly thing.
Yeah, we can keep it like this. I think the idea is clear. We don't actually want to make this one work.
No, it has to work.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. All right. I did it. I wrote a context.
Nice. And then obviously, not obviously, but now that we have wrapped our whole application with the toast provider, you would be able in any component to access that state, right?
Yes.
So probably what you would want to add in the provider also is maybe on top of the children, actually render the toast. So
okay.
If toast state, then I don't know, render a div, like the toast component, right?
Yeah. Wait, that's not it. Toast state dot message, and then like null otherwise, right? Something like that.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. So
makes sense.
Now you would in any like any of your components where you do some mutations, right? Like you have a use effect or use query, you would like go and fetch something like create new expense, right? And then you wait for the data to come back and you check the state. Is it an error response? Is it a success response?
Yeah.
And then on error, you can set toast message to error. On success, you can set it to success.
That makes sense. Cool. Okay. Yeah.
And then the toast component can make sure that it's dismissible, right? Like you can, I don't know, there could be an X button and then the state is cleared again, set to null.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Cool. So what's awesome about this is that where you actually do the mutation is where you set the toast, right? So like if you read through the use effect that you write in the component, this is where you're going to define the type of the toast and the message, which is great. Yeah, you get the response back and it's very clear to see what toast is going to be written.
Yeah.
So we totally also want to do this in Remix. But the tricky thing, or the difference here, what we have to unlearn is that in Remix, the mutation happens on the server.
That makes sense.
And the action functions, right? So let's go to a route that has an action.
Yeah, do you have a good
Maybe
one?
the expenses ID. This one, yeah.
The
This one,
index or which one?
index, yeah.
Cool.
So this is
Okay.
the details view where you can update one of the
Okay.
expenses.
Cool. Cool.
And there's a bunch of stuff here, right? You can remove an attachment, you can delete it.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
like this action actually handles a bunch of things.
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty beefy. Nice.
And if you
I
go
like
to,
I really like this, like kind
yeah.
of, yeah, the intent and the switches is really nice. Anyway, sorry. Good.
Okay. If you look into the handle update function.
This one. Okay.
So this is where we update the expense, right? And we return some JSON data, success.
Cool.
On arrow, this maze row, and then we end up in the arrow boundary.
Okay,
so
got it.
It's just focus on the success route for now, because otherwise too many things at once. Okay, so in here we return JSON. So we could theoretically return a toast object, right?
Okay. Oh, you mean, sorry, inside of the JSON toast.
Yeah.
Like,
So
that makes sense.
So intuitively, right? Like, it's like, oh yeah, this is where we decide if this is a success. So this is where we could also decide what toast message we want to return, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And then how would you read it? Probably something like use action data or use fetcher.data. Just like brainstorming right now. You tell me what you think.
Yeah, right. Because wait, like, sorry, hold on. I'm trying to make sure I remember the flow. Okay, so you said we're doing a handle update. We send back the JSON in handle update, so that returns, and we're just returning that along. So yeah, that should just be in the action, right?
Yes.
Should just be here. And what are we already doing with this action data? We're just, if there's successes, then we say, oh, changes saved. So like, therefore Andre save. Okay. Oh, okay. So that's coming here. So that's all the feedback we're giving currently. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what's different is that in the rec component, right, with Remix, you're not in an action, like in an on-click handler, right? Or in funny by the way, we said in use effect, we do the fetch, but actually on a mutation, you would be in a click handler usually, right? On click, on submit. Same thing though, right? Like you have this like callback function, and in there you do the mutation. If it comes back, you set the toast. In Remix, we don't have an on click or an on submit, right? We just let the form submit, and then Remix has a on submit behind the scenes.
Yep.
So we just get the action data back on success, or so we would need to do a little differently here, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, wait. So why doesn't this have any types actually? Did I mess something up here, or is this expected? Oops, sorry.
It's probably because we messed around with the types in the top, unless you.
Yeah, that's a good
question.
The update. So here.
Because you added the toast here, it's not sure anymore, probably.
Well, oh, is that why? Okay.
Or is it because we say it's returned?
Is it just because we're returning a promise of a response?
Could be, yeah.
That might be it. Okay, not a big deal. Sorry, I didn't mean to distract there. Okay, so yeah, basically, Remix, when you actually submit the thing, it automatically like updates, a bunch of its state and stuff, and it's giving you the action data back as like a state to deal with.
Yeah. So behind the scenes, if you submit the expense, Remix does a fetch request if JavaScript is enabled, and fetches the data or gets the response back from the action function, and then you have it here as data, right? So if you would want to react to changes of the action data, you now wouldn't need to do a use effect, right? Most likely. Gotcha. So in here, you would do a use effect, and if the action data changes, then you set the toast state or something that is provided by the provider, right?
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, like if action, what was it, like toast? I can't remember what I called it, but yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's just we're sketching it out. We don't actually want to make this work here. What I don't like about this is it's super far away from where we actually like render the toast, and it's super far away from where the action happens, right? In the
True.
React only way, you just have a line set toast action or like set toast right below the mutation in your action, like your action callback.
Yeah, which is really nice. Like,
Yes.
you know, on click or whatever, and then you
Yes.
submit it, and then you wait for the results of whatever happened, and then you're like, you know, if that happened, then then set my stuff.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay.
So
yeah, I see what you're saying.
this is your React mindset, right? Like you come with your React mindset to Remix, and you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna call a set toast state somewhere. So now I have to sync some states, and it gets a little like frustrating, right? And then you run into like more issues like, and was the action submitted with a fetcher form or normal form? So are you using fetcher data or use action data? Also, action data persists even like across different navigations. I think like if you if you do one action and then just a bunch of navigations, the action data is still going to be there. So you have to be very careful that the use effect is not called again, so you don't show the same toast again and again and again, right? So like it's a little tricky. And obviously it doesn't work with without JavaScript, right? Like
this is I'm on the client. That's what user effect means. Yeah.
Yes. So this is never going to be a server-side rendered toast, which could be sad too. Okay. So luckily the web platform has our back. Oh, actually, one more motivation to not use action data here is, can you go to the expenses index route? This is where we do the expense creation.
This one?
Yes. So if you go to the component, you see this is our creation form. And if you go to the action in the same file, you see that we, on successful creation, redirect. So this is going to be an HTTP response that is a redirect status code. And Remix gets that back from a submission, right? Like Remix knows to navigate your client side. But if you return a redirect response, you cannot also return JSON data.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
So you wouldn't even be able to tell Remix here what toast message you want to include.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because you've already navigated away and you don't have that information back because that was like all that you're supposed to do. So you need to kind of trigger it to show up somewhere else, some other way. Okay.
Yeah. So in Remix actions, you can return JSON, but it's always going to be wrapped in a response object, right? And you can return a redirect or the JSON wrapper for JSON.
Yeah.
But in the end of the day, it's going to be any kind of response. And it would be awesome if we could make our toast creation work with any kind of response, right? Even with a redirect.
Yeah.
And
Great.
I think this is where, if you have worked with Remix a little bit, the word that should come up in your head is cookies.
Exactly.
So,
okay, cool.
I'd say let's actually start building it with cookies. Do you think it would make sense to sketch out what a cookie is, or like Excel draw, think about the workflow a little bit, or should we start with the coding?
Yes. Yeah. No, we can definitely sketch out. I think I did it. I got it. I sketched it out. Oh, bad joke. No, let's go for it.
No.
What?
I was like, where is he going with this?
I was gonna grab one actually. Yeah, can I just like do this?
Copy it, paste it.
Yes. Ah, what? Too big. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That was
cookies
very
cookies have a size limit, so you have to be careful appending the headers.
That's true. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you don't want to overload your headers. Sure. Yeah, let's sketch this out.
Yeah, so let's do like a little graph where we see like the server and the client and how they like communicate with each other.
Yeah. So are these good servers and clients? Are those too big?
Yeah. Make it a little like the space between them a little bigger so we see the round trips of the responses that go back and forth.
Sure.
Good. So left, maybe client, right hand, we have the server. And the client is obviously, in our case here, the browser, right? Like the user clicks some buttons, submits some forms, does some navigations, and then we have requests coming to the server. So yes, perfect. Let's say the user creates an expense, right? What happens is we submit a form. It's a form submission, the first request.
Or you said like
And
create an expense maybe.
yeah, and it's going to be a form submission, so it's going to be an HTTP post.
Yeah, I'll just say post. Cool.
That calls our action function, where we
Okay.
do the database stuff, right, and return our redirect. So this is what we just saw in the code. It's like, oh yeah, the expense has been created. Let's get you to the details page of that expense.
Mm-hmm.
So this is I don't know, is it a 301? Status code for the redirect.
Oh
There's several
yeah,
redirects. We could check MBN, but like there's several.
one of them is 301 versus 302. One of them is like a permanent one. Yeah, 301 is a permanent one, which will like cache in your browser. So I've definitely like been bitten by that before. Because I was on the homepage of like my previous company. I didn't deploy this fortunately, but like I did a 301 redirect. And then I like couldn't get back to the homepage. It just kept on redirecting me, and I was like,
oh
"What
no.
is going on?" And so then I realized I was like, "Oh, it's just cache." So like, it's really easy if you're the one who made that mistake and it's on your browser because you just clear your cache. But like, if you do that to a real user with a 301 and you didn't mean to, that is a very big problem.
Frustrating.
So 302.
Oh, yeah, so let's make sure it's a 302. Yes. So basically, you say, "Hey, after this action happened, let's go to this page because this is where you will find the latest data or the success message, right?"
Yeah.
So what the browser is going to do is perfect.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, okay.
Okay.
It's going to say, "Oh, I have to redirect somewhere. Let's request that page." So it's going to be another request. And obviously, if JavaScript is enabled and Remix has control over this, Remix is going to do a client-side navigation here and just fetch the loader data with fetch requests. But if there wouldn't be JavaScript, what the browser would do on a redirect is actually make a new document request. And what's really cool with Remix is that both of these flows look exactly the same in the state chart, right? It's the same flow, same mental model.
Document request, full page, refresh. Right. Cool.
And so we summon in our server, we land, and this time it's going to be the loaders because it's going to be a get request here. And it might be several get requests currently, right? Like, but let's just keep it simple.
Well, hopefully one day we'll actually switch this one, but that's another conversation.
Yes.
Okay.
Cool. And then obviously there will be a response with hopefully 200 status code saying, "Oh, here's some JSON data," or "Here's the HTML document."
Oh man, I need to make this bigger. My client's getting too big.
Yeah, gotta be careful with all these JavaScript bundles.
Yep. Okay, so this one's going back here. I think it's actually this was the problem. I just wanted this like over here, just this little note. All right, cool. So then this goes back with a 200. You said, right?
Yeah, it's just like it can be a document, a response, or a JSON response.
Yeah.
And then if it would be a document response, obviously we would have all the other fetch requests for like the CSS or whatever is referenced in the document. But usually in the happy paths, we have JavaScript loaded and we can do a client-side navigation here or like client-side fetch requests. So we're only going to fetch the JSON data. Cool. So how do cookies fit into this? We said we want to write the cookie. It's a big cookie with big O.
It's a big cookie. Big O. That's my cookie.
Yeah.
So sorry, you said we need to write it.
Yeah, so we need to write the cookie to the header somewhere, and then we want to read it somewhere and put it into our React application. So the way you add a cookie is with the set cookie header. Anytime you reply to a request, the HTTP response can have a set cookie header where you say, "Hey, these are the cookies I want to append now." And then the browser will make sure that on all subsequent requests, they will include the cookie. And obviously there's some like, it can expire and then the browser makes sure to automatically remove it, yada, yada, yada. But the simple mental model is whenever you want to write a cookie, you pass or add a set cookie header. And every time you want to read a cookie, you can then, when you prepare the response, read that cookie header, or like read the cookie header again on the server.
Cool.
So perfect, yeah. So in our action function, this is where we do our mutation. This is where we're gonna add the cookie. And the cookie is just this like little thing that is added to the headers, right? Like that has data if you wanted to have data, and that we then can again access on our server.
Cool. It's way too big.
It's beautiful.
It's riding along.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. And then the cool thing is, if you go back to the loader in the second request, the cookie is going to be there. So the browser will make sure to append it always.
Cool.
And every time we reply, we can either add more cookies, delete existing cookies, update their values, or just read them. And this is exactly what we need, right? So like in this kind of flow, we can write the toast message inside the cookie in the action.
So we can, sorry, you said we can write in the action and then read basically in the loader, right?
Yeah.
Cool. That makes sense. Sweet. Okay.
Okay. So this is kind of what I'm thinking is like we write a cookie every time we want to set the toast. Then in one loader function, maybe the root, we read that message and we pass it to the loader data. So we have access to the latest toast message on the client, or like in our React app, both server side and client side.
Okay. And then read in the root. Yeah. If there's a toast and render. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Sweet.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's a little bit of nuance here. We also have to update the cookie header in the loader because we want to like clean it. Basically, like once we read the toast once, we don't want to have that value anymore in the cookie because we don't want to show the same toast message twice. It's a little, so even the read is going to be some kind of like change to the response, but
yeah, that makes sense.
That's okay. We can also figure this out on the go. And obviously, Remix has some great utilities for us to work with the web platform here. Yeah. So if you want to like go to the Remix docs and look for cookie.
Okay.
Cool. So we could just like follow this here, right? And be like, hey, okay, there's you can create like this cookie abstraction, and then you get the cookie that you can add to the HTTP response.
Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, we can follow through this. So, good.
Yes. Or maybe there's even another abstraction on top of the cookie abstraction, also by Remix. So every time you work with like user data and you put in a cookie, you can think of it of like session data, right? That's the user session. Like, and Remix also has a session abstraction. So if you look for that in the docs.
What? A cookie session?
Oh my God.
Cool. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's just a very thin wrapper around the cookie where now you work with a session object and you have a bunch of like utilities to update the session. Yeah. And at the end of the day, you still write it as a cookie. Remix just makes it easier to like flush values, right? Like write them once and delete them right after. But we can explore this when we jump in the code.
Sweet. Okay, cool. Want me to copy this then?
I think we can just sling it. We don't need to copy anything.
Okay, let's do it. All right, where do you want me to be?
Okay. Let's create a new folder in the app/modules. So in modules is where I usually put like my features.
So in here. Okay.
Yeah. So just like add a new folder. You call it like toast or whatever.
Should probably spell it right. All right.
And let's add a server file here. So like toast.server or server. Anything that has the .toast .server ending.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay.
So this is the code that we're gonna use in our loaders and actions. That's why we have the .server ending, so that the compiler knows not to include this in our client bundle.
Yeah.
Cool. Oh, what are you doing here?
No, that's not what I want. Wrong. All right. Anyway.
Okay, let's just like a const session equals, and I hope auto completion will help us create cookie session storage or something.
That seems right.
Yeah, perfect.
Cool.
And you give it a config object, and that's going to be the configuration for the cookie. Uh, yeah, we definitely have to give it a name, I think. Yeah, and we can just call it like a toast or whatever.
Does it need the underscore? Is that just like a convention
I
or?
think it's a convention. Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna name it toast
Um,
then.
so since this is just some toast message data, like we don't really need to uh, add much things here.
Okay.
We can maybe, yeah, like we can talk about these if you're interested.
No, let's
Um,
just make it work. If we need to go
yeah,
back and
but
talk about anything, also there's these lovely docs that explain stuff and MDN as well.
exactly.
You know, just type that in and you'll probably get some answers.
Perfect. Yeah. And
Okay.
the names here in the config match exactly what the cookie configuration in MDN
Oh, perfect.
provides.
Yeah.
Like it's, yeah. Okay, cool.
Got
So I
it.
think the name is all we need for this, like non-confidential, not like it doesn't matter if the user changes these values, right? Like we don't have to
Yeah.
make it HTTP only. Like, okay.
Yeah. That would be, yeah, that's more so if like this is like something that's actually like a secret, like a password or like your,
Yeah.
user auth kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So HTTP only means other scripts or like your JavaScript can't access this cookie with document.cookie. So for like, if you have like iframes and other things, you probably don't want like your cookies to be readable through JavaScript. So you make it HTTP only. And then you can sign the cookie to avoid like users changing it without you noticing. And then you can make it
Cool.
secure means HTTPS only. So it's encrypted when it goes over the network.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But none of this is needed here. This is a cookie toast. So,
Sweet. Cookie toast. Like,
so what we want to
cookie
have
toast.
is like probably two functions.
Okay.
So I thought about this a lot. Let's call the functions put toast and pop toast.
Okay.
So I built this as an example, like npm package with like a tutoring group.
Oh, nice. Cool.
And we were like talking about the names forever. So I think put toast and pop toast.
You don't want it to be like, just hear me out. You got raised toast and then you got like clink toast, because that's when you're done. SFG clink.
Oh yeah, totally.
All right, anyway, sorry.
I mean,
it's distracting.
If you want to.
No, it's fine. I'm just being a chaos agent. I'm sorry. All right.
No, it's great.
Okay.
Let's make both of them, export both of them, because that's the ones
yeah.
that we're going to consume somewhere. And put toast is going to be the thing we call in the action, right, to write the toast. Actually, it's add a type here, which is like our toast matches, like type toast equals.
Is it the same thing we had before?
Yeah, message.
Basically?
Yeah, perfect. There we go.
All right, cool.
Cool. And put toast, I would say the first argument you pass in is just a toast.
Okay.
And now what we have to do is, I think, if you do like cons, that's like we have to explore the code a little bit together. It's like cons session is like get session. Actually,
wait.
Yeah. Let's on line 3. Let's destructure the session and get the 3 things out of there. So
I see what you're saying. Oh yeah. That's right. You said get, commit,
and destroy.
Okay, that makes sense.
I don't think we destroy at all. But the first thing we want to have is get the session.
Okay.
We first have to get the session to then commit to the session. That's like the remix abstraction on top of.
Oh wait. Okay, wait. Sorry. You said we need to actually get the session first. That makes sense.
Yeah, let's get the session. Okay. And then once you have the session, you can then, I think, commit to the session. You can just hover over what commit session.
Sure.
What it requires.
So it takes a session and then it takes some options, basically.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
So on the session, you would call like session.put toast, and then you can commit the session.
Right. Okay, so the session is the actual object that you're.
Yeah, the session object is like the thing where you add the user data to.
Do I need to wait this? Is that the problem?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so now I can do stuff. Okay, that makes sense. So that's the object, right? I feel like every time I explore cookies, I have to relearn how it all works.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get it, then we can mutate it or update it or whatever, change it, but then we actually have to commit it. It's nothing happens unless we commit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and also remember, right, like the session abstraction is an abstraction on top of cookies, but also on top of a database. Right. So like it is just like abstraction layer, and you can persist the session data wherever you want. So this is why this is a little bit more abstract, because it works for all these different like storage solutions.
That makes sense. Yeah, it's not just cookie specific. Cool.
Yeah.
Is this right, or am I doing something silly?
Oh, that's great. Perfect. Okay. So what you do here is like basically, like, hey, we have a session, and we set the toast message. Hurrah! Yeah. And then if you hover over commit session one more time, what does it return?
Let's see. It returns a promise of a string.
Okay, so it's gonna return the actual set cookie value, I assume.
Okay. Got it. So we would return that then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. So basically, this is like, hey, we don't care if there's already a session. We just initialize a new one, basically. Then we set the toast value to it, and return the new cookie value. We could make this a little, like more generic. You can like maybe expect a second parameter, which is headers.
And here?
Yeah, and just default it to new headers, so you don't have to pass it in, but like we have like this headers object that we can operate on. I really like to do that. So it's like, hey, if you already have some headers, you pass them in. Otherwise, we're gonna like initialize a new headers object. No, what you wanna do is headers.set cookie with the commit session as the that's one. Right. But yeah, the second line, you want await session commit instead of.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, so this is just going inside of there. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I was just trying to.
So it returns a string value, right? And the string value is going to be the set cookie value.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what we had before, what I was going to return, I could have just done like a const set cookie value, like you're saying, and then you could put it here.
Yeah.
There's no reason to get that complicated. Let's just make one line. Okay, cool. Sweet.
Okay, and then I would also just return the headers. Just for lazy people, right? Like, you don't have to initialize a header, so just like give me the headers. And this is the thing now that you can add to your response, right? You have HTTP headers that you can add to your HTTP response, and this one is now going to include the cookie value.
Sweet.
Cool.
Nice.
Get session also supports passing in a request as a parameter, but for setting it here, I don't think we need it. So let's just try, like, we could look it up and see, but like I'm pretty sure if you initialize a session, you can pass in, it should just work, right? Like there's no TypeScript error. Just like putting this out there, get session, you can also get the actual session based on the latest cookie value and work on top of this. I don't think we need it though. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. But for pop toast, we're gonna need this. So for pop toast, we're gonna pass in the request or our request.
And we want to give it a default because we actually we need you to throw in the actual request.
Absolutely. Yeah. You need the actual request coming in from the browser to be able to read the cookie from there. And I think that's the only thing we need there. And then we can do the same thing again with the get session.
So are you saying here we can just pass, or do we need to do like that? Like it's trying to get me to do.
Oh, okay. No, that looks great. So what I was saying was wrong.
This is why everyone says that our jobs are done for. It's like it's telling us what to do at this point.
Okay, hover over get session. Let's see what it actually wants us to pass. If it's a string, it is a string. Okay, okay. What I was saying was wrong. You don't pass in the full request. You pass in the header, the cookie string, and then it passes it into the session.
Then it parses it and figures out it.
Come on, Remix. You could have done that for me, Remix. You could have done.
Yeah. Why are you making me do elsewhere? Why are you making Copilot think this hard?
And I think the answer is probably because, again, this may be an abstraction that is not just for cookies.
Yeah. No, totally, it makes sense. Okay, so we have the session, and now what?
So now we're gonna read, we're gonna get the toast. So session.get, and I think you called it toast in the setter.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm realizing I forgot to do this.
Right.
Okay, session.get
toast.
And then, okay, wait, yeah. So we're just getting it there. So now we got toast. So toasty toast.
So
And
if you
it's not
hover
going to
over
know what
it,
type
let's
it
see,
is.
it's any. And that is because you cannot be sure that there was ever a toast message, right? Like it may be
That makes sense.
empty. Yeah. I know, let's not typecast it. There's way cooler ways to do this. Bad Brooks. Let's just do like an if toast and type of toast equals object. And what can we do is like type in toast, and you can write type as a string.
Oh, as a string.
And then you can say in toast, and the toast is actually the object. And then you can do this one more time with the message. And then we can do really like, now we're going to have type safety that it's going to be the right type. And now you can just return the toast in here. It's like, hey, if you have a toast, let's return it. And otherwise you return null outside of this.
Yeah. But we didn't check if toast.type is a string. So, and is success in its message. So we got even more.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Like theoretically, we could write like a little invariant or something.
For sure. It still doesn't know what it is though. Why is it not knowing? Did I goof something up?
No, I think you did good. What we could do is we can maybe, I like if I have like type issues, what I do is like I actually explicitly type the function return value and then see what it complains about what I'm currently doing and then try to get there. So if you say like, hey, it's a promise of a toaster undefined.
Seems happy. Well, it's because any conforms to toast, basically.
And what if you type the session.get to as unknown in line 24?
In 24 you say as on. Ooh.
Can we do that?
Okay, yeah. Now it's mad at me. Okay, yeah, because it doesn't know what those are. So yeah, that's where.
Yeah, so you should theoretically add some more lines to the if statement. Be like, if type of message equals string. And
woo! There we go. That's amazing.
Nice. Yeah, but no, it's still not success or error, so that's probably gonna be what it's sad about.
Yeah, why doesn't it know what it is? Oh, right. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Oh my gosh, that's so much work.
Yeah. So the easiest way to do this would be with sort, right? Like you sort to validate this. You want to remove the type off here for these and just make sure that it's actually one of these values of types.
Well, I could do this though. No, I'm just kidding. that doesn't make any sense. Oh wait, shoot, I went way too far. All right, so we remove those, and then now it's still mad. That's amazing.
What does it
I don't know why it says it doesn't know what these things are. Anyway.
Okay. Why don't we jump to the Remix docs really quick and see if we actually read the toast value correctly from here?
Sure. What do you want me to look for? I'm sorry.
For the session.get and just see if we did it correctly.
Yeah, it's just
message. Just get like the thing or put it to null.
I think we're just it's just type stuff that we're.
Okay, this is a little demo. We don't have to stress over this. You can come back. I did not run into this before. Let me just quickly see if I can fix it. But in the meantime, if you just want to move on, you can just return toast or null here. Cool. Just return toast, yeah.
Yeah. Because this will just be
undefined null.
Will be undefined at this point. Okay, so I can just do null.
Wait, did you do the as toast before? No, you didn't, right? Like this, you just added this.
No. I just added that. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, cool. So we got our pop toast. We got our put toast.
Yes. So next thing we want to do is add the pop toast to the actions where we do stuff. So that would be the expenses index route to create. Let's just add it there first.
Okay, so inside the action.
Yes.
This one am I in the wrong place?
No, it's perfect. So this is where we create our expense, and like in line 17, 18, before the redirect, what you can do now is const headers equals Pop toast.
Wait, is it pop or is it put? Isn't this the one that creates the
Oh,
headers?
right. Yeah, put toast. We want to
Okay.
put the toast in,
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
pop it
Putting the
out just
toast
yet.
in. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. What do we need to pass in here? Just had it.
The toast object, so like a message and a type. So here it would be type success. Probably in message you can come up with something fun.
I've never come up with something fun in my life. All right,
dude.
There you go. We don't need
Nice.
all of this stuff though. We're not making new headers. Cool. Okay. Cool. And then you're like saying
Pass it
we
as a
should just
second.
pass these in. Perfect.
Nice.
Okay.
So now every time we
Cool.
do this, what is it complaining about? Oh, you have to wait it.
Well, that's fair. That's a good point.
Okay. Sweet. So every time we create an action, we create an expense, it now adds the right cookies to the response.
Yeah. So
if we go back to Exani Draw, we see that after we do this, there's going to be this like redirect thing happening. Yes. So we will have a second request to the server to our loaders. So now let's go to our loaders, and I would say let's just do this globally in the root.tsx loader.
Yeah.
So here we can do.
What did you say? Pop toast. Yeah. And so then you said we just pass the request in. Cool. Oh, tote. Right? That'll just get it. Yeah. So that'll be there undefined. And so do you just want to like pass it along here?
Yeah. Let's just add it to the loaded data.
Wow. Awesome. Too easy.
Oh, beautiful. And now we can read the loaded data in our component where or like in the toast provider. Perfect.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Okay, cool. So in here, we don't need this. We need just like
use loader data.
Use loader data. Thank you. Type of loader. All right, and so then we can now just say we don't need. Yeah, we don't need any of this stuff. Right. This all goes away. Well, sort of. We don't need this as a provider anymore, though, right? We could just like do this directly down in this
component. Oh yeah, you just call it toast now. Let's keep the component. Let's keep it inside the component, but let's rename the component to toast. Remove the context from it. It's just going to be this like, you don't even have to wrap anything. You just put it next to the outlet, maybe.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So we render it globally in our application, and every time we have the right loader data, we're going to show something, and we manage the state in this component. But we don't have to access the state anywhere else, so it doesn't need to be a context or provider anymore, because we get our state changes from the server and not from any other components any longer.
Cool. So we don't need this. Cool. So we're just doing this, and then we're saying toast dot. Oh my gosh, that's confusing. Here, let's pull it off. Cool. Just like that. And then if we had like an error, we'd probably want the styles to be different and whatnot, right?
Yeah, beautiful. If you want, let's just run it once. Let's run once just to see if we get the loader data correctly, like maybe console log it, or like the diff should just show somewhere. Let's see if we can find the diff on expense creation, and then we go from there.
Okay. So back here. Do you want me to just create something?
Please.
Where would the toast have shown up though? This is the question.
Let's console log also in the component, so
yeah.
The diff could be anywhere. We're gonna make the diff like the component nice in a second. I have this like tiny example code.
Cool. Okay, well, yeah, that's very helpful actually, because we didn't get rid of the cookie. We didn't like unsign it, or not unsign. We didn't destroy it or anything. So we still have it. So it is in existence.
Yes. What happens now if you refresh the page a bunch of times?
No, it's still like it should be there, right? It'll never go away. Because I don't think we actually in here we're not like recommitting it.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that.
Where is it though? Expense. Oh, I was scrolling down. That's
Isn't
awesome.
that
I was just
beautiful?
like that.
This is exactly where you should show the toast, right?
Yeah, yeah, just right here. Just like shutting everything down. That's awesome. Okay.
Nice.
Well, I feel so dumb that I just.
Wait, if you put it above the outlet, it may just be on top of the page.
Well,
Okay.
I thought I was scrolled.
Okay, yeah, but you said that correctly. Let's go to the root loader one more time,
Yeah, yeah.
because we want to make sure
Oh, the
that,
loader. Sorry.
yeah, in the root loader, what we actually want to do is probably update the cookie also, right? Like it's pop. We say pop and not read because we want to mutate the state.
Yeah.
So what we want to do here is also return a response with new headers and update this. And I think we can enhance our little helper functions.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Also for pop now, basically do the same thing where we will also return some headers. So let's maybe return an object or an array here. Yeah,
Like this,
perfect.
or
Yeah,
okay,
perfect.
cool. And then down
And then
here.
what you want to do is commit the session again, like the same code as above.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna set cookie. And then we'll await commit session with the session. But do we need to like remove it first? We need to do session done.
I love that you asked this. Do you see that there's a flash function?
Yes.
So the way flash works is write this value into the session, and the first time you read it, we already remove it.
Cool.
So you can replace the set with
Is
flash.
Yeah. This one?
Yes. So we flash this toast into the session, and this next time you read it, we also make sure that we read, like we pop it, we read it and remove it.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's awesome, isn't it? So just by reading it, we mutated the session now. So if we commit it, the value is going to be gone.
Yeah. But we still have to like, that makes sense. We still have to commit it because we have like, in some way we've mutated that session essentially, but we still need to commit it. Okay, cool.
We need to write it to the cookie. Like we have to inform the browser about the change.
Yep.
Okay, so what you can do now is return both the toast message and the headers, I think. Like make this an object or, yeah. And you probably want to update, like just remove the return value.
Oh, right. I forgot we added this.
Yeah. And I double checked my code real quick. So when you get something from a session, it is typed as any, which makes it a little tricky to infer the type. But with something like sort, it would be the easiest. So let's just say like, let's actually do what you said. Let's do as toast or null.
Yeah. Yeah, we can just say like, and then it'll definitely get done at some point, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. This is how it works. But you definitely want to do as toast or null because it is not always a toast object. It can also.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, this could be pretty deceptive. Cool.
Perfect.
And should this? But we did say that this was undefined, so this is even kind of wrong. So that's a little bit more correct, right? Cool.
Sure.
I think that's right. I don't. I think it's undefined otherwise. So, because like this could be, we're basically saying undefined could be null, and that's a problem. So I could be wrong, but yeah. Okay.
Okay. So now we return toast and headers. Yeah, perfect. You got it.
Oop,
so if we think back to our flow, right? Like we get the next JSON, the next GET request, get the latest loader data, and the response will have the toast message as a string in the loader data, but it will have the cookie cleared. So the next, if you refresh the page now, the cookie data is going to be gone. So the next loader revalidation will have a null toast.
Okay, cool. Let me also add that just in case I screw something up again. Toast. Ooh. Okay. So, oh wait, no, we still have the toast. Why is it not showing up?
Because
I moved it to the bottom.
But so the reason it's not going away right now is because the first time we didn't flash it, we set
makes
it.
sense.
So what you would need to do now is if you create a new just create one more expense and it goes away. Or you can also
Okay.
go in the application tab in your developer tools and go to cookies. And you should see the toast cookie here now. So this is base64 encrypted, I think. Not encrypted, in base64 encoded. I think that's the default. So if you clear it here, right click, you can just reset it.
Just wait, delete or?
Just delete.
Okay.
Cool. So if you refresh the page now.
Oh, it's still, okay. So it's still there, but it doesn't have a value. Nice. Cool.
Yeah, let's hope so. This might be empty. Let's see. Let's refresh the page and create an expense and see if everything works. So yeah, no, it's null. Perfect.
It's null. Okay. So dinner for just me. All right.
Wow, dude. A lot of sliced melons here in this dinner.
Oh boy. Oh, Andre. That was great. If you were not listening to Andre and actually watched what I was doing, you can see that we got our expenses created. My beautiful toast, and then if I refresh, it goes away.
Nice.
Very cool. That's awesome. Would it do the same thing if I did like, let's create a new one, and then I'm gonna like navigate away. Okay, but it's still there. But that's because, because the root loader hasn't been like invalidated, right?
Yes. So this would change in the future with Remix, if I understand the new RFCs correctly, because you on navigation, refetch all the loaded data. But in current Remix, you only refetch or load the route loader data of new routes that are newly matching on a navigation. So since the route never changes, the loader data is going to be persistent on the client and you keep it there.
Makes sense.
Yes. But we can totally do this ourselves, right? Like we can now enhance this with client-side JavaScript.
Yeah. And we could have like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here, instead of just using Flash, we could have just like done toast dot, no, that's not a session dot like set or unset rather. We could have done this ourselves without the Flash. The Flash is just kind of a nice thing that's like,
yes. If you think Flash is weird, you can also just on read unset totally.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Cool.
Okay. Let's make a little toast component.
Okay.
So instead of returning this ugly div here,
what are you saying?
Maybe just use so we don't have to write any Tailwind code right now and embarrass ourselves. Maybe just copy the code I sent you. Copilot it out for me in 5 minutes.
Nice. All right. So there's our toast. Oh, but it doesn't have all my logic in it. And by logic, I mean just that. Oh, so you just like pass it along. I guess that makes sense. So I can just, the way you're doing it, pull it in here and then pass it like that.
Mm-hmm.
And that
would be one way.
Cool.
So
does it handle?
Real quick, a quick shout out. There is a Remix Toast npm package out there, and I think you may even know the author of that package. If you look for Remix Toast, Remix Toast npm should find it.
It's like this. Hey, there you go. Nice. Yeah. Alum has made CodeForge, which is like a VS Code plugin, as well as like the Remix dev tools. So definitely check those out. Okay, awesome. So he's made this, and it's
yeah. So this is basically this package is the server side things that we just did, in a little bit more reusable manner. But you would also need to implement your own toast component on the client to then show this. So like if you look here through the examples, it basically tells you to like get the thing with loaded data, the toast value, and then from there on you have to do your own stuff on the client. So what I did was like every Monday I tutor some folks in like a weekly meetup, and what we did just as an exercise is let's build another npm package. Just so we build an npm package, and we wanted to have both a client and a server side for this.
That's cool. So did y'all publish it? Can I find it?
It's called Remix Toasted. And I think the only thing we published so far is this server, Remix Toasted server.
Oh, Toasted?
Yeah, Toasted.
I was doing Toaster. Nice.
That would also be a cool name.
Yeah.
So this is basically the
Wow,
same thing that already exists with Remix Toast. But the cool idea we had is like, let's make it so that whoever uses this doesn't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that like you don't have to pass in the loader data, but we will have a React component that reads the loader data.
Cool.
That good stuff.
Yeah. That's nice.
Cool.
All right.
So
we
had an hour and 10
run
minutes.
Yeah.
So
wait 1 second.
Yeah.
I can actually see it. You went to all this work asking Copilot to make this toast for you. Oh, there
in
it
the
is.
bottom left corner.
Nice. And if I hit X, it doesn't.
Yeah. So if you still have 10 minutes, we can see if we can do the X.
Sure. Yeah.
We want to disable JavaScript real quick, and we make the X button work without JavaScript.
Yes. Let me do it.
In the silliest way. Okay, so let's go to the component.
Okay, toast. Yep, got it.
Cool. So this is just a div, right? You pass it in the loader data. And the button right now is just a button. Let's wrap the button by a form. Or remix form.
Big one, or yeah.
I mean, both works without JavaScript in the same way anyway.
True. I guess, yeah, in this situation, it doesn't matter,
make it, okay. I think by default it's already, but like make it method get. So this is just going to be a get. And make the button type submit. But since it's the only button in the form, it should be by default type submit.
It should
anyway.
be, yeah. But
honestly, like to be explicit here. Yeah.
That rule is so confusing that it is.
It is so
to be explicit.
Yeah. Okay, let's try this. So basically what this does is, right, like it just submits, give me the same page we are currently at one more time. But since we don't have the cookie anymore, the next loader data shouldn't have the cookie anymore, the plus is gone. So
cool. Let's see. I'm gonna go to a concert tonight, and it cost way too much money. Yeah, that cleared it.
Wait, okay. One more enhancement. We submitted this form in the root folder, right? So it says give me the root, which is obviously not what we want. We want the current URL. So exactly, we need a dynamic action here. And this can be as easy as use navigation, const URL equal, or like const location. No, sorry. Wait, const location equals use location, right? That's the thing. That
yeah. I see what you're saying. Sorry, I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. And
then location dot, what is it?
Well, yeah, path name. But if you want like
everything,
the query params, you're gonna get into trouble. I think there's like a. No, it's not.
I mean, you could also just do action equals window.href.
Yeah, that's true. I think that should be fine. Oh man, but this takes something, doesn't it? Oh no, just kidding. All right, whatever. We'll just do the path name because we know we don't have query params, but you should add query params if you have those. Yeah. Okay, so now that will solve all my problems, you're saying?
Yeah, let's create one more.
Okay, I'll just re-add this one. Oh, I did not like that, I think, because I went back. I'll try it again. All right, so there it is. And so if I hit, nice. Now we did like refetch all the data, so some people may argue that was
yeah. This is the thing with making it work without JavaScript, right? Like this is the simple mental model of what's the silliest way to make this work. It's just like, okay, let's just get the page again without the cookie.
Makes sense.
How would you make it work without JavaScript? Well, you're doing on this form now your own use submit and prevent default. And then you can set a state, right? Like you have like a state that updates with the use loader data changes. And then on submit, you prevent default. So it doesn't do the submission if JavaScript is enabled. And instead you update it in that component state.
Yeah, I like it. I think that that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And does your whole thing work without JavaScript? This is great. Well done, Andre. It's a beautiful website.
Not the servers and events, but everything else should work without JavaScript.
Well, that would make sense. Nice. Wait, where do you use servers and events? This is a tangent, but in your book,
in the middle, book. It was just like in the expense history. If you open actually everywhere. So I think everywhere. So all of this, if you use this on 2 different browsers or 2 different tabs, it should automatically update. I might just have added it to only the expense history. But...
Okay, so you're saying if I delete it, wow, fancy.
Yeah.
There you go. that more reason to get the book to learn how to do that?
I'm getting nervous here. You're trying all the things like, please don't break.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, man. I like rediscovering this app because it's like I promise I did read this book like very meticulously.
Wait,
I still don't even. Wait, we did this thing? I don't remember that.
I mean, to be fair,
Man.
it was like 6 months ago that you read it.
That's
Or
right.
longer.
That's a good point. No, man. It's awesome. Well, yeah, we did it. We have a little toast, and then we can clear it, and we don't even need JavaScript to clear it, and that is pretty cool.
Yes.
And it's like you said, like it's that feeling of like what React should feel like, where it's just like it's just components, and you just like update things, and things like just kind of work the way you would want. But we don't have to set up all that. Yeah, we don't have to like use context and make it only client side. We're using the platform to get that feeling.
Yeah. To be fair, I have to say for toast messages, setting the toast with like in an SPA, the way I described in the beginning, I think is very elegant. Like this is actually this is great. Like an example of why React is so cool. But the mutation runs on the client only, right? Like without JavaScript, without using a form. So the other code you have around the toast message is what's obnoxious and what you probably want to get rid of, because you have to handle your own like loading state, error state, and all of this.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, you're pretty, and I mean, again, like we kind of pointed out, is not that one. Here, like this use loader data, like this is hooking into all that kind of stuff. It's just Remix is handling all that stuff for you and giving you this nice little primitive to get that state, so you can just react when something's updated. That's cool.
Exactly. And that you just like, yeah, we didn't even touch over this, right? Like, but the same toast would also work for the mutations, for the update expense, where we return JSON data. It's also, we return a response, right? So you can also add headers there, and then it would work. You don't even have to do anything more on the client, because it would still go to the loader data, revalidate this, right? And you get the latest toast message.
Sweet. Nice. Cool. Well, I'm gonna stop sharing. Thanks, Andre, for walking me through that. Yeah, I think that's super cool. Any concluding thoughts? Anything else you wanted to call out or say?
I think we concluded pretty well, like in the last 5 minutes. So nothing to conclude. Oh yeah, Remix has been so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's what I was gonna say.
If you like book-based learning, maybe check out my book.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Andre, for joining. I really appreciate your time. And just go keep teaching people about Remix.
Will do. Thanks,
All right. Talk to you later.